In this video, I will go over the modified checklist for autism in toddlers screening test, also known as M-CHAT for short, that will help you screen your child for autism at home. Before we get started, please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the information I'll be sharing about autism in my weekly videos. As I have mentioned in my previous videos, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that all children be screened for ASD at 18 and 24 months of age, as early intervention can improve outcomes. The screening typically involves a standardized questionnaire that is completed by the parent or caregiver, such as the modified checklist for autism in toddlers or the social communication questionnaire. In this video, we will go over how to properly conduct an M-CHAT screening test. You can find a link to the test on the description below the video. The M-CHAT has 20 questions and I will provide examples for each one of them. When you answer these questions about your child, keep in mind how your child usually behaves. If you have seen your child do the behavior a few times, but he or she does not usually do it, then please answer no. Please circle yes or no for every question. So, let's start with the first question. Question number 1. If you point at something across the room, does your child look at it? For example, if you point at a toy or an animal, does your child look at the toy or animal? If you say, look, an airplane, and point to the sky, does your child look at the sky? For this question, it is required to recall only the instances when your child looked as a result of your pointing. Do not confuse looking with pointing. Question number 2. Have you ever wondered if your child may be deaf? For example, you are using a sound toy next to your child and the kid does not look at the source of the sound, or you are talking to another person in the presence of your child and the child does not react to your voice by looking at you or the other person. Question number 3. Does your child play pretend or make believe? For example, pretend to drink from an empty cup, pretend to talk on a phone, or pretend to feed a doll or stuffed animal. Here you will recall any instance when your child imitated or initiated a pretend play. For example, when you used the hairbrush as a microphone, did your child imitate the action and your behavior after? Question number 4. Does your child like climbing on things? For example, furniture, playground equipment, stairs, or bookshelves. Focus on the behavior of climbing and keep in mind that every toddler likes to climb, but the intensity and the behavior of climbing looks different for a neurotypical and a neurodivergent child. A neurodivergent child will engage in climbing more frequently than a neurotypical child and not in an appropriate way. For example, at the playground, a neurodivergent child will try to go over the slide instead of sliding down on the slide. Question number 5. Does your child make unusual finger movements near his or her eyes? For example, does your child wiggle his or her fingers close to his or her eyes? Here I want to demonstrate some of those moves and show you what to look for when answering this question. Crossing finger, rubbing finger, move of hands in front of eyes. Question number 6. Does your child point with one finger to ask for something or to get help? For example, pointing to a snack or toy that is out of reach. Please make the difference between pointing and reaching. Reaching is with the entire hand, and this is not something that the question asks. Pointing is with the index finger, and these are the instances that you need to focus on when answering this question. Question number 7. Does your child point with one finger to show you something interesting? For example, pointing to an airplane in the sky or a big truck in the road. Once again, focus on the behavior of indicating with the index finger. For example, you are out on the walk and the child sees a bunny or a car. Is the child using the index finger at that moment to indicate to the bunny or a car? Question number 8. Is your child interested in other children? For example, does your child watch other children, smile at them, or go to them? Here, you will focus on the interactions that your child has with other kids. For example, is your child going close to other kids and looks at them, greets them, is talking or trying to play with them? Question number 9. Does your child show you things by bringing them to you or holding them up for you to see, not to get help, but just to share? For example, showing you a flower, a stuffed animal, or a toy truck. The behavior that you will monitor and report on is sharing interests, feelings, and experiences. It does not include asking for food help or asking for you to play with the child. Question number 10. Does your child respond when you call his or her name? For example, does he or she look up, talk, or bubble or stop what he or she is doing when you call his or her name? Here, you will report not only from stopping an activity when you call the name of the child, but also if he or she looks at you, makes eye contact with you. Question number 11. When you smile at your child, does he or she smiles back at you? For example, you are entering the house after you return from work and greet your child with a smile. Is he or she smiling back at you? Question number 12. Does your child get upset by everyday noises? Here you will pay attention to your child's behavior when he or she is in a loud environment. For example, does your child scream or cries to noise such as vacuum cleaner or loud music? Question number 13. Does your child walk? Most children begin to take their first independent steps between the ages of 9 and 15 months. However, it is important to remember that there is a wide range of normal development, and some children may start walking as early as 8 months or as late as 18 months. Question number 14. Does your child look you in the eye when you are talking to him or her, playing with him or her, or dressing him or her? Here you will recall all the instances when your child makes eye contact with you and looks at you for more than 5 seconds. This does not include brief eye gazes. Question number 15. Does your child try to copy what you do? For example, wave bye-bye, clap, or make a funny noise when you do. In essence, is your child imitating your behavior or the behavior of others surrounding them? Question number 16. If you turn your head to look at something, does your child look around to see what you are looking at? For example, you are playing with your child and you are looking for a piece of puzzle. Is your child going to follow your behavior by looking to see what you are looking for? Question number 17. Does your child try to get you to watch him or her? Here you will recall all the instances when your child tried to show you something or wanted you to give him or her the attention and the praise for a work all done. For example, does your child look at you for praise or says, "Look," or "Watch me"? Question number 18. Does your child understand when you tell him or her to do something? This includes only the instances when your child follows your verbal directions without any gestural, modal, or physical prompting. For example, if you don't point, can your child understand "put the book on the chair" or "bring me the blanket"? Question number 19. If something new happens, does your child look at your face to see how you feel about it? For example, if he or she hears a strange or funny noise or sees a new toy, will he or she look at your face? Question number 20. Does your child like movement activities? Here you will recall all the instances when you run, jumped, and did all those physical activities. It can also include being swung or bounced on your knee. I hope that after my explanation, it is clear to you on how to properly answer these questions. Now, let's talk about results. For most items, yes is a typical response and no is a risk response. However, items 2, 5, and 12 are reversed scored, meaning that no is a typical response and yes is a risk response. To score the MCHAT, add up the number of at-risk responses. If your total score is between 0 to 2, then there is a low risk and no follow-up is needed. In case your score is between 3 to 7, there is a moderate risk, while if the total score is above 8, then there is a high risk that the child may have autism. For a test with moderate or high risk, you need to refer immediately to a pediatrician or neurologist for early intervention and diagnostic evaluation. While there are some online assessments and checklists available for parents to use at home, it is important to note that these tools should not be used as substitute for a professional evaluation by a qualified healthcare provider. These online assessments may have limited accuracy and could potentially lead to false positive or false negatives. A professional evaluation for ASD typically involves a comprehensive assessment that includes developmental history, observation of the child's behavior and social interactions, and testing of cognitive and language skills. The evaluation is typically conducted by a team of healthcare professionals such as pediatrician, psychologist, and speech-language pathologist. I hope this video helped you understand how to properly perform an MCHAT screening test. If you have any questions, make sure you type them in the comments below and I will do my best to get back to you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.